A huge storm hit Iowa this past year that caused extreme damage all across the state. This long line of showers and thunderstorms is called a derecho. Our Barrett Leone takes a look back at this massive windstorm and how some towns are still rebuilding nearly a year later.
Nick, it's projected that the Iowa derecho was the most costly thunderstorm in modern U.S. history. At least $7.5 billion in destruction. And just in the state's agriculture industry, $3.8 billion.
August 10th. 2020 came without much warning. In its 14-hour span, the multi-state derecho started as a cluster of thunderstorms ranging from southeast South Dakota to Ohio. It traveled 770 miles across the Midwest, hitting Iowa hard.
This went on for so long and went through such a large area. How are we going to ever deal with this and move forward?
Just 30 miles away from Iowa City, an even worse sight.
That is what really took the brunt of the derecho was this path through Cedar Rapids.
The powerful winds devastated millions of acres of farmland, crumpling and tossing grain bins, demolishing roofs, and buckling buildings in its wake.
So, what is a derecho? You've probably heard it described as a land hurricane, and if you lived through the powerful storm, that's probably how it felt. A derecho is a widespread, long-lived windstorm, and in the case of the August derecho, those winds whipped anywhere from 60 miles per hour to 120 plus in the worst areas like Cedar Rapids. It's why this line of thunderstorms has Iowans still picking up the pieces today.
It left some Iowans feeling lucky to be alive.
We have hundreds of folks that are camping in their yards, and we're trying to find them shelter and food and water and make sure that they're safe.
And others with less damage, eager to help. A young boy crafting baseball bats for recovery fundraising efforts.
A ton of people having damage. I feel like it will help them, rebuild.
A stranger refurnishing a trailer home for a single mother and her 2 sons.
It's definitely a dream come true after what has happened.
And amongst the chaos, a sense of camaraderie emerging.
The neighborhood got together, and over the next day and a half, we cleared up. There were big trees that were blocking both ends of our street, and then cleared people's yards, and some people brought in lunch and ordered lunch in the next day for people, and it was sort of a great way of bringing the neighborhood together around something that was less than desirable.
Still, those efforts aren't over.
We kind of underestimated how bad the damage was.
This middle school in Toledo, Iowa, still unusable.
We've made do, we've made it work, but it'll be nice when we don't have to make it work anymore.
A Facebook page combining resources for those in need, with more than 66,000 members still active.
They lost half of the canopy in the entire area, so there's a big tree rebuilding program going on right now.
And a state, despite everything it's been through,
it's horrendous. And I think there are still places that are still recovering from that.
Still Iowa strong. Barrett Leone, KTTC, your weather authority.